The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. You see me in this BFN hoodie, man. Make sure you check out blackfilesnews.com to actually support the movement. You can buy gear, you can actually donate, you can buy music, check out our advertising platforms, you know what I mean? Get in touch with our very unique, our very intelligent audience across all our social media platforms, man. You know what I mean? Work with us because we're going to keep grinding and we want this machine to be running on its own energy. So support us as we continue to support y'all, giving y'all this real. Now, over in Israel, you got Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, after 12 years of being in that seat, officially voted out. You had the government voting on the new coalition government, which includes a power sharing agreement between Naftali Bennett, who will be the prime minister for the first 2 years, so he was sworn in, and then after 2 years, Yair Lapid, the other contender for the PMC, will then take the spot. So the new government actually consists of 8 parties, including the Arab list, which represents Palestinians in Israel. So you had celebrations breaking out in Tel Aviv. You know, a lot of Palestinians are happy because Netanyahu's brought a lot of drama, you know what I mean, a lot of terror, but a lot of people feel skeptical because they feel like Naftali's going to bring the same type of energy. I mean, he's an ultra-nationalist. This is somebody who's actually front-lined a settlement movement in the Arab settlements. You know what I'm saying? So, and trying to get Israelis into these Arab settlements. So, a lot of people are skeptical. We'll see what this turns out to be, though. Green Wall graduation. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So, you know, I got a report on y'all with this New World Order shit. Well, I've been telling y'all about the G7 summit. This is where they have a summit with the representatives of the world's 7 most wealthiest nations. And this summit concluded in Cornwall, England yesterday on Sunday. And you had thousands of protesters actually coming down on the coastal city, on the coastal town to make their voices heard. A lot of people feel like this summit missed a lot of marks. But one thing that especially on the climate change front, and it wasn't enough done to that stop the use of coal and combat these catastrophic climate changes. However, they did come to some agreements that would allow the world to pivot away from fossil fuels, and also recommitted $100 billion to poorer nations to help them combat with climate change. On the COVID-19 front, they agreed to reinvestigate the origins of COVID, as well as attaining some goals that'll prevent future pandemics. Also pledging 1 billion vaccine doses to poorer nations. However, the World Health Organization and other groups feel like 11 billion vaccines is actually needed to reach the global pandemic combatant criteria. And also, they have also agreed to they unveiled this like crazy infrastructure plan that's set to challenge China's growing power, and combat this multi-trillion-dollar Belt and Road initiative that they have. So we'll see what comes of this Green Wall graduation. For the New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. Just an update, letting y'all know what's happening out here, and definitely make sure you check out my mixtape, Still I Grind. It's actually an Instagram page at @still_I Grind. You know what I'm saying? Every post is like a track. You know what I'm saying? You might see some merch for the Still I Grind wear that's actually promoted, which is found at blackfilesnews.com/shop. However, it's really the bars and the songs and the flows and the stories and the metaphors that I want y'all to check out, so y'all can appreciate me as a rapper, not just somebody that's giving y'all the news. But just to keep on giving y'all the news, though, just an update, President Biden is actually out in Brussels for the NATO summit, North American Treaty Organization, that is. So he's also set to meet with, at the NATO summit, Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey. So that'll be interesting, especially since considering all the things that happened between Turkey and the U.S. under the Trump presidency. Biden is also going to meet with Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, later this week in Geneva. So it seems like the Biden administration wants to come at Russia about their interference with elections and things of that nature. We'll see what turns of this. Green Wall graduation. For the New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. It's a new player in the vaccine game. You got Novavax, based in Maryland. This company has said that their vaccine is proven to be 90% effective at combating COVID-19. Now, it's a 2-shot dose. It's 2 doses to be completely vaccinated with the Novavax vaccine, and it could be easily manufactured and stored in a refrigerator. while these other vaccines got to be like, handled cryogenically, like you can't just put it in your regular refrigerator typically. Well, this one apparently you can, and also vaccinated people showed to be fully protected against moderate and severe illness from COVID-19. Novavax has pledged to not only distribute the vaccine to poorer countries and try to get approval for the use of the vaccine in half a dozen countries by next month, but they're also pledging 1 billion doses to poorer countries through the COVAX program by the World Health Organization, which is set to pretty much get vaccines to every ghetto in the world. So we'll see what comes of this Green War and graduation. Report out of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So you got Novavax actually trying to come up with a vaccine that they're saying is 90% effective. So that joins a list of other vaccines that have emergency use authorization, or possibly will join that list of vaccines that have that authorization and be used around the country. Right now, the numbers in the United States for COVID-19 are falling. That goes for hospitalization rates, deaths, and new cases, with just 2% of COVID-19 tests now just returning positive in the United States. So California right now, after over a year of restrictions, remember them being one of the first states to like fully shut down, they're set to fully reopen tomorrow. So we'll be paying attention to that. Also, in the first case against vaccine mandates, you had a federal judge in Houston dismiss a lawsuit brought by Houston hospital employees who were refusing to adhere to the mask mandates at the hospital. So this is the first time there was a federal case on the vaccine mandate, and definitely won't be the last. Green War and graduation. Report out of the world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So you got flaming temperatures that's actually set to hit the United States this week. You got temperatures predicted to actually reach and go past 120 degrees. 8 different states are preparing for heat waves, and you actually have these weather that's set, and it's going to exacerbate the wildfire situation, which is actually affecting 1/4 of the western United States. Over in Northern California, they actually have 2 million people that are under a water shortage emergency. You have in Utah, the governor, Spencer Cox, actually told his residents to pray for rain. Damn, that's deep. And also, you have in southern Oregon, the Klamath Basin actually being shut down, the water supply there being shut down so that they could protect the native fish. But it has some farmers aggy as hell about it. They're actually threatening to release the water by force. So, get ready for this heat. Green War and graduation. Streets report out of the world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So Pulitzer Prize was actually handing out recognition the other day, and they basically had awarded a special citation to Darnella Frazier. Now, most of you don't know who that is. Probably all of you don't know who that is. This was the black woman who was a black girl at the time, 17 years old, during May 2020, who actually filmed in Minneapolis the murder of George Floyd by killer cop Derek Chauvin. This 9.5-minute murder was caught on her footage that ended up going viral around the world, which sparked protests globally. So it's very much a big deal. It was also used in the trial that convicted killer cop Derek Chauvin, who's still awaiting sentencing, but was found guilty as fuck. And they basically said they thank her for highlighting the crucial role of citizens in the journalist quest for truth and justice. So shout out to them. Also, The Dead Are Rising, The Life of Malcolm X, a book made by Les Payne and his daughter Tamara Payne, was actually awarded a Pulitzer Prize. Les Payne died in 2018 while making a book, and so Tamara finished it up. But that's what's going on. Something you might want to check out. It's got a Pulitzer, y'all. Green War and graduation. Report out of the world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in the United Kingdom, they're actually delaying their full reopening of the country for another 4 weeks, as they want more of their citizens to get vaccinated in order to combat the new Delta coronavirus variant, which for me is a little odd because the initial vaccines did not account for any variants, but some say these vaccines, especially the Oxford AstraZeneca one that was approved in the UK, like according to Dr. Fauci, for example, the White House coronavirus top coronavirus official, he actually said that it's effective in combating it. the new variant. So we will see. In Russia, the city of Moscow actually ordered that non-essential workers stay home after they're seeing a rise in new coronavirus cases. And in India, a lot of areas are actually easing restrictions, even as they had these crazy surges in new cases, but the new cases have dropped for a second. But experts are warning against that since only 5% of the population is vaccinated. We'll see what comes of that, though. Green War and graduation. The New World Order Bishop Grady let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Kabul, Afghanistan, this past Saturday, there was actually two bomb explosions that went off, murdering 7 people and wounding 6. So these explosions actually hit a bunch of vehicles on a stretch of road that is actually heavily populated by the minority Hazara Shia group. Now, this is not the first attack on that group in recent weeks. I mean, even on May 8th, there was another attack that happened at a Kabul school where it killed nearly 100 people. Most of them were Hazara girls at the school. So, you know, the shots are still going off over there, and the people that are said to have done the attacks are an affiliate network of ISIS. So we'll see what unfolds from this. Green War and graduation. What are the New World Order Bishop Grady let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Over there in Syria, in the rebel-held city of Afrin, you actually had artillery attack that took place this past Saturday, where a bunch of shells actually hit a residential area in a hospital, killing 13 people and wounding dozens of others. Among those dead, you had 3 hospital staff, a doctor, 2 women and 2 children. So it's not clear who launched this attack in the Aleppo province, you know what I mean, in Syria's northern Aleppo province. However, the fire was seen to come from the fire power was seen to come from an area where both Syrian-led military and Kurds are actually actively fighting. So it could have, you know, right now the verdict is out. Green War and graduation though. What are the New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So in the capital of Tunisia, in Tunis, on this past Saturday, there were a lot of protesters, hundreds of protesters actually clashing with police officers in this working class neighborhood, where basically these protests against police brutality erupted after there was video footage showing plainclothes cops stripping down and beating a young man. And this happened days after there was another man that was hospitalized who actually, according to his family, was beaten up by police. So a lot of people say that police brutality has not ceased, or they haven't seen any meaningful police reform in the past decade, ever since they toppled longtime dictator Zine El Abidine Ben Ali. So right now they seem like they going through what, you know, black people might be going through over here. You know what I'm saying? Sound like some Rodney King shit, you know what I mean? Or there's definitely other examples out there, but everybody stay woke. Keep your head on a swivel. Green War graduation. Report of the New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in the occupied West Bank, you know what I mean? This is the area that Israeli and Palestinian people are grudging over, where you have illegal Israeli settlements over there and people protesting against it. The Palestinians, however, this was going on during Friday, where the Israeli forces ended up just busting off at the protesters. You know what I'm saying? Live rounds, tear gas, rubber bullets, you know what I mean? And ended up injuring 6 people and killed 1 person, a 15-year-old boy, Mohammed Saeed Hamaya. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just, the aggression just seems really there by Israel against Palestine. And on Saturday, you actually had the murder of a 28-year-old woman at an Israeli security checkpoint. Ibtisam Havna is how her name's spelled. And this is actually the 5th Palestinian killed in the past week. So it's like, what message are they trying to send? I mean, the United Nations has already condemned this. Like, what can you do? Green War graduation though. This report out of the New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. I know it's getting dark, bear with me, just listen to the words though. In Nigeria, man, that shit on fire right now. When you had in the northern state of Zamfara, you had a bunch of gunmen on Thursday and Friday, like riding around on motorcycles, masked up, raiding villages. You talking about 53 people at least said to have been killed in these raids. Like, they was over there stealing cattle, attacking farmers, running down anybody that was trying to get away. So over in another part of Nigeria though, in Lagos, Abuja, you had protests going on that were basically against the economy, essentially, like the insecurity. We're talking about economic policies that got a third of the population unemployed. So, you know, people was out there, you know, talking their shit, the protesters that is, and then you had the police like trying to shut that down, shooting in the air, shooting tear gas at them, and you had these protests actually went on to where the police were smashing people's cell phones. Keep in mind, there's a ban against Twitter by President Muhammadu Buhari. So right now it's looking ill. You know what I mean? And this happened on Democracy Day, which is a national holiday over there, where back in '99 the civilian government had basically took over from the military dictatorship. So you know what I mean? That's you know, very good timing, I guess. Green Wall and graduation though. Report out of the world though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Over in India, you actually had this crazy ass fire that burnt down this refugee camp for the Rohingya Muslims. Now, let me tell y'all, put it in perspective. The Rohingya Muslims actually were a persecuted Muslim community that was in Burma originally, and you know, like, they got displaced by like the hundreds of thousands. So, you know, so a lot of them spread different places around Southern Asia, but you have like 40,000 of them across India. But same time, you got the police in India coming down on these communities, basically, you know, attacking them and threatening to deport these members. So with that happening, this fire, which actually displaced hundreds of people, there's hundreds of people now that don't have a home because of the fire. You got a lot of them thinking that this might have been arson. Green Wall and graduation. Streets report out of the world though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Over there in Guatemala, you got the LGBTQ in the community in an uproar. Them, you know, human rights advocates, because there were two members of the transgender community killed. One was shot dead on Friday, 28-year-old Andrea Gonzalez. So she was also the leader of this community, this organization, Old Trans Queens of the Night. So this is definitely a advocate for trans rights and all of that, and was you know, so it brought around a lot of heat, demand for justice. And also days before that, another member of that same group, Ceci Ixpeta, was killed and had died after, you know, sustaining injuries from an attack on her. So, you know what I'm saying? It's over there, it seems like what's happening over there is happening over here in the U.S. You know, the transgender community, you know, it's dangerous out here to be transgender. You know what I'm saying? That's something, if you got control over yourself to rethink that, you might want to. Facts. Green Wall and graduation. This report out of the world though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So this weekend, it was a wild weekend in the United States where you had mass shootings going on. And it set off manhunts in Savannah, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, and Austin, Texas. Now, at least 9 people actually died from these shootings this past weekend. The Gun Violence Archive says that the United States has seen at least 270 mass shootings in 2021. So it's a real violent year. You know what I'm saying? Probably a little momentum coming off of this Trump administration to keep it a stack. But it seemed like Biden, you know, is keeping it going too. He got a lot of these Republicans mad as fuck, I know that. But that's where we at with it, you know what I'm saying? Green Wall and graduation. This report out of the world though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in the United States, you had Attorney General Merrick Garland this Friday announcing that the Justice Department is actually going to start implementing new measures in place to protect voting rights. Actually, what he said is in the next 30 days, they're going to double the enforcement protection staff for protecting voter rights. So also, they're going to, like, you know, really look at these laws that these Republicans been passing on the state level that seem like they're lowering voter access. And he said if there's any violations, they won't hesitate to act. Also said that they're going to look at current laws and see if they discriminate against black and brown people. So it seemed like it's a step in the right direction to protect what seems like an onslaught by these Republicans. In 22 laws this year have actually been passed to, like, deal with voting that would lead to less voter access in over a dozen states. And this is actually with Republicans and conservative Democrats pushing it. But you know, that's what it is. Green Wall on graduation. This report out of the world of the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report over here in the U.S. This government shit get deep. You have Attorney General Merrick Garland. I mean, this is the same guy who actually was trying to be a Supreme Court justice under the Obama era and was blocked by Senate Republicans from actually, you know, getting a fair shot at getting in that seat for which he was qualified for. This is the same guy who actually has recently been in the news for defending Donald Trump in a way, but basically saying that he doesn't have to deal with a defamation suit because of what he said that brought that defamation suit about was done during his presidency, and this was a sex assault allegation. Real heavy shit, right? Merrick Garland, this is the same dude that recently has said the Justice Department is going to do new measures to actually ensure the protection of voting rights with this new wave of Republican hate coming on the voting side through the Justice Department. Merrick Garland actually is going to meet on CNN with CNN, the New York Times, the Washington Post, to discuss how Trump actually seized the records of reporters and doing this government sweep and probe into government leaks. And on Sunday, it came out that he also seized the records of top White House lawyer Don McGahn and his wife Shannon. Green Wall on graduation. Report out of the world of the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all can still see me. At least y'all can hear me though, because this is important over on the immigration rights front in South Louisiana. You actually had, and specifically in Brazil, this immigration jail for women. The South Louisiana ICE Processing Center actually had went on a communications lockdown when its women were protesting against possibly being exposed to tuberculosis and other medical negligence type situations. So what the women in the jail had actually told The Intercept in an interview, they basically said that there was a woman inmate that caught tuberculosis. So in response, the jail ended up calling a quarantine. When the women refused, like, you know what I mean, we ain't quarantining, you keeping us trapped in this dirty ass cell, and, you know, floor and all of that, whatever, like.